And so as we are those bright, brilliant beams of radiant light, as we are that shining in this moment and in every moment, we rest into that truth. We rest into the truth of knowing that not only am I that, but everything in creation is that. And we shine. And we shine. We say yes to the knowing that we are the divine in expression. That we are the hands, the feet, the voice of that living presence, that essence of all that is, all that ever was, and all that ever will be. We breathe into that truth. We remember. We embrace and embody that purest, whitest light of love. And as we do this, we celebrate all creation as that radiant light of God, unified in peace, joy, and love. Unified in having this existence as that. For if not us, who? If not now, when? If not here, where? And we rest in the silence of this truth, of this knowing, claiming it, being it, in the silence. Well, I can't wait to see what's next. Can you?
Not at all. Not at all.
I've been wondering.
I have no idea what
I've been wondering.
Yeah. Well, let's try to talk about it a little bit.
Okay.
Knowing that everything is open to change, right? We were talking about that a little bit before church this morning. First question, and it's one we've been trying to answer since we decided to bring Reverend Becky in and do our workshop this weekend, is why do we need to do this? Who asked that question? Why do we need to do this? I think there's more than just the hands that are up.
Yeah.
Well, I want to interject a piece of personal information. Goes back to when the board was interviewing me to be your MOR. And I think it was towards the end of our conversation, they asked me, do you have anything more to say? Open-ended question. And this is what I said. I need you to know that if I'm your minister of record, this is not my ministry. It's yours. It's the people who come together on Sunday out in the community for events like Pride Fest that Johnny just facilitated. And it kind of is a new way of thinking. I'm going to give it that. But it works. We've seen it too much. So this is why I really pushed with the board to do the workshop this weekend. Because if it is our ministry together, if we're each one responsible for it, then we have to be aligned as truly one mind and one heart. So the work we did yesterday was not just organizational work, it was very deeply spiritual work. For those of you who were here, right? What did Reverend Becky ask us to do constantly during the day? Drop from our head to our heart space. So that's why we did the work.
Okay, and a little more on that. You know, I talked yesterday with those that were here. So, first of all, if you were here yesterday, raise your hand. Okay, so a good number. And give yourselves a hand. Everybody, please, give yourselves a hand, because there was a great and mighty work done here yesterday. And what I will tell you is, just like, and we've already talked about, you know, the midwife thing, and that we went through labor yesterday, and we gave birth. Well, does that mean it's over? No. We have given birth, so now we get to do all the rest of the stuff, right? I mean, we may be having days of changing diapers. We may be having days of wiping up, spit up, you know, because that's going to happen. Every spiritual community is a family. And so this is your family, and this ministry is your newborn. It is your newborn to take care of, to nurture, to move through this. I'll say briefly a little bit about, you know, why we want to really push this and hope that you adopt this idea, because a mission-focused ministry is a ministry that will thrive, that will prosper, and that is sustainable, no matter what comes your way, because you have a common focus, compared to a minister-centric or a minister-focused ministry, when that's where everything goes. All the energy goes to supporting that vision. I'm a lot more apt to support something that I was part of creating than support something that I'm told I need to support. How about the rest of you? So this is what we've done. And those of you that were here yesterday, our voices were heard, and the input was here, and it was received. And those of you that weren't here yesterday, we're sorry you didn't make it. And we hope that you entrust that everybody that was here acted on your best interest and the best interest of this ministry. And then we move forward of one heart, of one accord. So that's the caveat there about why it is so strong for us to have a mission. One other thing, excuse me, I want to point out. Y'all see all this?
It's a hot mess, isn't it?
You know, here, we don't want y'all to miss out. Okay? Look at that
This
mess.
was yesterday morning.
Okay? All right. So here's the fun part of that. And I was talking to some this morning, and I said, what I've come to discover in my life is that when I'm in the middle of chaos, I can be in it, and I could be up here, and I could be going, oh my gosh, I'm going to drown. This is horrible. Oh, what am I going to do? Or I can go, I'm so excited that I'm in the midst of chaos, because that means that I am in the midst of creating something amazing. It has to do with attitude, doesn't it? And it has to do with seeing things rightly. You know, that's the whole meaning behind righteous, is to see rightly. And so when we are seeing rightly, we are living in our righteousness. And so when we see things rightly, we begin to go through. We have all of the voices heard. We begin to collaborate, cooperate, and then we consolidate. And so, Ann, what happened? Did we come up with any?
We came up with some great core values, didn't we? Didn't we? And we have them on the wall over here. We actually arrived at 5. And we arrived at 5 after maybe thinking we might need 6 or 7, so we did really good. We came up with compassion. That was really, in the whole morning of conversation, the one word, the one core value that kept coming up for this community. And then we went on to talk about inclusiveness, which when you put it in the core value statement context, We believe in inclusivity, integrity. There's a lot of words that go into integrity. And we just kept crossing off and releasing any attachment to a word to come up with that big ideal, because we're going to be stretching. We're not going to be standing still, both personally in our own inner work, in our own journey, but as a community. So a lot of the work is just about what is our ideal? What do we want to not just be the best that we can right here and right now in this moment, but down the road, next month, next year, etc. We came up with spirituality. And as a community, you are spiritual beings. I can look into every set of eyes here and just see that radiant light of God. And then, of course, prosperity. We are prosperous today as a community in so many, many ways. Look at your music program. Okay? And yet, we can grow into greater prosperity and abundance. So those are your 5 core values. We're going to be putting a team together in the next couple weeks. There's 6 people that volunteered for this team. They're going to create your statements around your core values. So those will be shared with you once they're crafted.
Okay. And so then our next step was say, okay, so this is who we are aspiring to be. We maybe have some of this, but we are becoming that in a greater aspect. All right, wonderful. But the other piece is we need to always be dreaming. We're never too old to dream. We're never too big to dream, too small to dream, too fat to dream, too thin to dream. We're always capable of dreaming. And on top of that, we have the capacity for our dreams to come true. And so basically that's what a vision is. It is the dream that this body of truth seekers has for the world, not just for this upper room. As I was sitting over there a few minutes ago and I was thinking, this is like the upper room that we read about and we hear about. We come up, and yes, I live on a mountaintop, so see, to me, this is kind of our metropolitan mountaintop, because we've come up. We come up into a higher level of consciousness being here. So we set that dream, and we just happen to call it a vision. So our vision is that we celebrate all creation as the radiant light of God, unified in peace, love, or joy, and love. How many of you have a pen or a pencil near you? Take this out. See at the bottom of the front page? It says our vision, and it has our mission. We are growing, we are evolving, we are shifting, we are changing, we are setting the course for our new direction. I invite you to cross out the ones that are on the paper right now. And that is our active action of letting go of what was. And so as we let go of what was, what are we doing?
Making room for what's new.
We're making room for what's new. We're making room for that birthing. We're making room for the future of Unity Center of Norwalk. And so the vision is that big overarching thing. It's that big thing. I kept saying, we got to go big. We got to go so big that it almost scares us to think about it. Because if it doesn't scare us, is it pushing us to our growing edge? And that's what we want to do. We have a desire, we have a need as spiritual beings to expand. I would venture to say that there's not a single person in this room, no matter how young or how old you are, that is the exact same person they were even last night when they went to bed. And so why would we want a ministry to be stagnant? We want to be stretching and reaching and moving forward into that greater expression of who we as individuals are and who we as a ministry are. So we set that bar. How does that feel? Would y'all be interested in speaking that out loud?
Yes.
Can you see it? All right. So our vision is celebrate all creation as the radiant light of God, unified in peace, joy, and love. How does that feel? Okay. Now, those of you that were with me yesterday know the drill. Close your eyes. And I want you to take that journey down into your hearts. And I'm going to read this for you. And I want you to feel every aspect of it. Feel the breath of life moving through this statement. Unity Center of Norwalk celebrates all creation as the radiant light of God, unified in peace, joy, and love. Okay, so you're welcome to come back. How did that feel?
True. It's true.
Does it feel true? It feels good. So let me share something with you. When I get the hit that this is the perfect statement, I get goosebumps. As I was reading that for you just then, I got whole body tingles. So y'all did great. Congratulations on birthing this piece. Anything you want to say about that? No? Okay. All right. So that's kind of we're setting the goal. We're setting the bar. We've put the point in our GPS. This is where we're headed. Now, if I know on my iPhone, when I do my GPS, I can walk, I can take, public transit, or I can drive, or I can do all these different things. It lets me pick how I'm going to do it. And that's basically what our mission is. We have picked how, at least the core of how we're going to bring that into reality in the world. So the mission that was come up with, and we went through a lot of stuff. Okay? Y'all worked. Y'all worked diligently. And yeah, there were times when it was like, oh my God, why can't we get this? Just like a mama, why can't this baby be born now? I'm tired of labor, right? Everybody got a little exhausted, a little tired of going through that process. But we still push through. You can't stop halfway through a birth, can you? No. I mean, we started it, we had to finish it. Our mission is to empower individuals to be their authentic selves through practical spiritual teachings, music, inspirational messages, affirmative prayer, meditation, fellowship, and fun. That's a lot to do. That pretty much covers every aspect for me of spiritual growth and development. We have the education piece. We have the teachings that are ours in unity. We have other teachers. There's many master teachers, and we honor all of those. We have a wonderful music program. Y'all are so blessed with that. Inspirational messages. I understand that y'all do have some amazing speakers that do speak. Affirmative prayer. You have a prayer program. And we know that in unity, that whole thing of praying from that energy of the outcome, praying from the consciousness that is the desire. I mean, how much more affirmative can you get than that? Meditation. going within, making a conscious effort to connect into that heart. Fellowship. This group doesn't know anything about the fellowship and the fun part, right? So that's their growing and leading edge? Okay. Y'all got that down, so it's good. How does that feel? Do y'all want to assume the position and feel into it? All right. Close your eyes. Drop into your heart, into your feeling nature. The mission of Unity Center of Norwalk is to empower individuals to be their authentic selves through practical spiritual teachings, music, inspirational messages, affirmative prayer, meditation, fellowship, and fun. And there went the goosebumps. Okay. That was good. That was good. All right, so just like in birthing that baby, we've done this part. We have it right here, all wrapped up in its swaddling clothes, ready to start squalling for that first bottle. What is next? Gee, I wonder what this means for this ministry. Well, one of the things is we're going to, Reverend Ann, and then I'll be supporting Reverend Ann as needed. We'll be working with the board to make sure that everything that this ministry does, everything that this community focuses on, feeds into one aspect of this mission. Put all your energies into being those things with the goal of the ultimate outcome in order to support that global experience and in order to support each of us seeing all creation as that radiant light of God. All creation, even the one that cut you off coming in this morning. Okay? Even the one that calls you wanting to sell you life insurance and you can't hardly understand the word they're saying. It's like, bless you, thank you, goodbye. So what does that look like for you as an individual? I guess, maybe I should rephrase that. Can you be a community living into this if you're not living into it in your personal life? That means there's going to be things to do. There's going to be growth to be had. There's going to be coming together as a community and saying, yes, we are here. Your identity doesn't have anything to do with who's on the stage. It doesn't have anything to do with where you're located. It has to do with what's coming from your hearts. And here's, your GPS is now tuned in, and you have set your destination, and everything you do needs to take you down that road farther and farther and farther. Is that something that you feel up to?
Yes, ma'am. Yes.
Okay. Some of you are, and some of you are thinking about it, and that's okay. All this happened yesterday, so we have to have time to digest it.
So I have something to say.
Okay.
Have you all heard the Ram Dass quote? We're all just walking each other home. All right? And to me, I have this sense that what we birthed yesterday embodies that quote. It is something we can be. It is something that we can live. In our mission, it mentions spiritual teachings as one of our tools. Well, we have a 12 Powers class coming up, Reverend Becky and I. And for me, it's one of the core classes that Unity offers because our 12 divine abilities are what grounds us, not just spiritually, but as people. And they're things we are born with. We're born with that power of faith and love and wisdom and understanding. So in the class, we kind of weave it all together from the spiritual aspect and from living it in our lives. So I encourage you to take that class as we begin to stand on this foundation we've created with our vision, mission, and core values.
Yeah. And I'll be checking in through Reverend Ann, and just to see how you're doing. And I know, and what I experienced with all of you this weekend is y'all are quite capable. Quite capable. And you know, the beautiful thing is when we have a shared journey, a shared focus, it brings us together in a way that maybe we haven't been together in a while. I'll be honest with you, so what I have always had experience when I've done these workshops is I've witnessed healings. I've witnessed people healing old stuff and old hurts that have occurred. I've witnessed people coming together who were on such opposite ends of the ideal on what church was about or how to do things. So I see this as we have taken those first steps toward healing and unifying this ministry on all the various levels. Good job. Well done. Don't let it stop here. We have just given birth. Now is the time to nurture and support and raise this child. But we want to raise it in love. We want to raise it in spiritual consciousness and awareness and move forward with each step as a step done intentionally and intentionally focused on where we are going. The heart is here. The intellect is here. And I just encourage you to keep moving into that place. And let this be the follower. And let your heart, your source, your pure essence be the guiding light for all that you do. I think I'm complete.
And so it is.
Namaste.